I'm Bjorn Ranheim with the Sheldon Online Music Academy, coming to you from the Sheldon Auditorium in St. Louis, Missouri. What I'd like to talk to you today about is auditions, and mainly orchestral auditions, and preparing for them. This is an incredibly interesting area that a lot of people have said a lot about. So I'm not going to try to cover every possible ramification and minutia of this, but I am going to just talk about how you can really establish yourself as a unique artist. No orchestra in this country is looking for robotic players who don't have a musical voice. And I think sometimes the procedures that we go through to get audition or to get orchestral positions is one where we feel we have to be perfect and within this tight little box, and we can't really express ourselves as musicians. I think this is so far from the truth. Having now sat on both sides of the audition screen, there is nothing more exciting when you're sitting listening to auditions than hearing a person who can beautifully breathe life into each piece that they play in a tasteful way, but while establishing that they are an artist in their own right. This is, hiring people who are wonderful musicians and artists only helps the fabric of the orchestral community that much better. And so I think it's important for us not to get caught up in the fact that we must be perfect and everything is riding on this one thing. We must show ourselves as a complete musician. So ways that we can do this, when you're choosing solo works, if you have the ability to choose solo works, whether they be concertos or Bach cello suites or chamber music, you need to really show the entirety of your musical expression. You need to show that you can have the loud, beautiful, bombastic highs and the very sensitive and delicate lows that are going to draw listeners in and draw your colleagues in as well. Because ultimately you're playing next to the same people for your career, and you need to be able to hear and respect what's going on around you as much as anything else. So what I would suggest is try to show things that really give your dynamic range its full breadth, show that you can really follow the articulations and find the right styles, and also show that you can have a musicianship and a style that is going to fit in well with any section. One thing that I think is very important when you are thinking about auditioning for an orchestra, there will be an audition list of excerpts that they send you, and each of those excerpts may have 1, 2, or 3 particular things that they are going for that they want to hear. If we are hearing the Mendelssohn Midsummer Night's Dream Scherzo, we want to hear that you have a very delicate, beautiful, articulate spiccato stroke that is going to be just perfect in that section. When we ask for Don Juan or a Strauss tone poem, we want to hear that you've got the intensity of sound to really sustain and have the bravura to pull it off, while also being within the context of the music and the score. This is all, the audition process is meant for us to see as many parts of your musical personality. And so try to show those sides, and when you're approaching all these excerpts, really look at what each excerpt may be trying to show and accentuate that point, and I think you're going to have a lot of success that way. One other aspect of auditions that I think is overlooked at times is the mental preparation part of it. To walk in and play well or perfectly at a prescribed moment, at a prescribed place and time is very, very difficult. And one thing that we can do to help prepare ourselves is to mentally walk through what the audition is going to be like, see ourselves doing well and performing confidently and calmly. And you'd be amazed at what this does to help your performance when you sit out there on the audition stage, because then it won't feel like the first time you are sitting there. It'll feel like you've been there many times in your mind. Plus, this helps to alleviate fatigue and a lot of tiring of the muscles, especially on an audition day where you want to be fresh and ready to go for multiple rounds. So I hope that helps. Just a few pointers from me in how to really do the very, very best that you can and show what kind of artist you are in an audition. Thanks.